Today, we are excited to welcome a very special guest, a worship leader, songwriter, and the voice behind some modern worship classics like Reckless Love, The Father's House, Egypt. His music has inspired millions around the world with his vulnerability, honesty, and the heart for God. Now he's back with a brand new single that's all about finding joy and gratitude in life's simple, beautiful moments. It's called Cheap Seats, and it's already resonating deeply with listeners. Please welcome to the show, Cory Asbury.
What's up,
Cory.
brother? Oh, thank you for that gracious intro, resonating with millions. And dang, dude, it felt It's pretty grandiose, man.
Millions and billions and billions.
I love it.
That's great. So on your social media, you posted something a while back, a country boy or city boy, and your band had an intervention with you. I guess they had a deep conversation with you. So what is it, Cory? Are you a country boy or a city boy?
I'm torn, man. I'm a country boy at heart. You know, like we were just talking about, I live up here in the woods, grew up in North Carolina. But man, you know, in worship music, it's tough to have that sort of background because it's a very specific thing. So that was obviously lighthearted, but it's something
Right.
we're always wrestling with, man. I'm like, I want to make country music. I want to write songs about my family and life, and and then the worship listeners are like, we hate this.
Now, are you the type that you go out in the middle of the day to find dinner in the woods for your family?
I'm not that country. Maybe if we're taking a trip out to Montana, or I'm back in North Carolina, I'm hunting some squirrels or something. But I'm probably not eating them, to be honest with you.
It's good. Well, Cory, we love your new single, Cheap Seats. We honestly, my brothers and I, there's three of us on the show, but I'm the only one here today. But we really love your sound, Pioneer album. We just love this side of you. Can you tell us a little bit about Cheap Seats?
Yeah. So, we've lived here in Nashville for, I think, a little over 5 years now. And when we moved here, I was just like, man, I want to connect with the folks that are in town. I want to connect with some of the country world, some of the country writers. And, fortuitously, I've been able to do that and hang with a lot of these folks out here. And I love the craft of songwriting here in Nashville. It is amazing. Like the excellence level is full on Daniel levels. Like it's crazy, man. And being able to connect with a lot of these people has inspired me in different directions. And everyone knows me from Reckless Love, right? That's kind of the vibe, and I love that. It's amazing. But it's been fun.
That's your I said that's your I Can Only Imagine song.
Exactly. And I'm happy about that. Like a lot of people are like, don't you get tired of it? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like I love that song. I love singing that song. Right. But the thing is, like, I wanted to flex another muscle. I wanted to kind of train in a different direction and write songs about family, about being a dad, being a father, being a brother, being a son, all those kinds of things. And this is one of those songs in a batch of, honestly, probably 50, maybe more. And obviously, we're not going to be able to release every single one of them. But we just threw together the ones we like best and said, okay, let's produce them up and, send them out to the world and see if people like them or not. And if they don't, no love lost. It's all good. We'll move on to the next, because that's kind of how I live my life anyways. But yeah, this is one of those songs that it's just super simple, man. It's like the simple things of life. Can we enjoy the moments? Can we enjoy, time with our wives, with our spouses, whatever, and find God in the middle of that? So nothing crazy, no super deep message. It's just like, hey, let's enjoy what God's given us. Let's enjoy life. And, this is one of, like I said, probably 20 of those songs in kind of that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, another song that you released recently was Good for Nothing. We really like that one as well. Is that what's the kind of the theme behind that one, the story?
Yeah, that was the same idea. Writing with a bunch of folks out here, a buddy named Harrison Hackett actually brought me that that kind of start, like the turn of that phrase, good for nothing. He didn't do all that good for nothing. And I was like, bro, that's sick. Like, let's write this song. Let's make it bang, like let's make it go. And I really like it. You know, it just kind of turns that phrase on its head. And again, it's got that kind of country bent that that I really love. I grew up listening to bluegrass and '90s country, and you know, Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney and those guys, and then we'd have this thing in North Carolina called Picking on the Square, which is like everyone gathers downtown. I lived in a place called Franklin, North Carolina. Everybody gathers downtown, and there's a bunch of bluegrass players and singers, and there's yodeling and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, you know, some of this stuff harkens back to that, that kind of country phase. And, you know, country is very widely accepted right now. So it's kind of cool to be able to lean into a little bit of that. I know it kind of makes a lot of Christian listeners angry, but it is what it is, man.
Controversial question is Beyonce, do you consider her country?
I mean, her music, absolutely not. No chance.
No.
No chance. I mean,
No,
she's from Houston, and I think she is country. Like if you listen to her talk, if you kind of hear the vibe of her personality, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's a country girl, but that music is not country.
No.
I mean, my music's barely country, you know, like it's like even the modern country music of today is barely country. We're not talking about like George Strait and Waylon Jennings. We're talking about like Morgan Wallen. Like that ain't. Yeah, it's not really country.
Yeah, George Strait's my favorite. So yeah, he's classic. My brother's not here to tell you this, but when you released your song "These Are the Days," his son listened to it with him, and I have a 14-year-old son too. But he listened to it and he said, "Dad, when I get married, can you play that at my wedding?" And my brother just started weeping. He was like, "Yes, son. Yes,
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome."
But we need songs like, you know, there's songs about girls getting married and girls growing up, but there's not many about boys, you know. And so I was really appreciated that song when you released it.
Oh, thanks, man. See, there is value in some of this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cory, this is a fan-based podcast, and so we have fans reach out, and we had a fan of yours. Her name is Marley from LA, and she wants to know the story behind your song "Misunderstood." She says this is her life story, and it really speaks to her.
Yeah. I sat down with Anna Golden and a buddy named Monty Rivera, and we just started talking about really Anna Golden's brother, who at the time was dealing with a lot of mental health stuff. I can't remember exactly what was going on. I think there was some bipolar. There was some things that were going on, you know, in his head that were making it difficult for him to to cope with life at that particular time. And I started thinking about my brother-in-law, you know, at times my own life and the things that I've dealt with and the things that we all deal with as far as in our minds, mental health kind of stuff. And it was very like, what's the word? What's the opposite of taboo? It was very like popular at that particular time. Yeah, mental health matters. Like everyone was like popping off about that all of a sudden, and it definitely does. But it was just funny how that was sort of bubbling at the moment, and so we were all like, "Man, what if we could write a song to those listeners who are dealing with those things? What if we could write a song to Anna Golden's brother?" And what would we want to say to that person? What would we want to say to ourselves when we're in that place? Whether it's, you know, just regular anxiety over, for me, like driving to downtown Nashville and having to try to find a parking spot, bro. Like, you know, I don't want to lessen anything, meaning I don't want to diminish anything, but we all have anxiety in different ways and in different measures. I think everyone deals with maybe even depression to a certain extent, because that's kind of just the thing that happens in life, you know. Stuff happens and we have to deal with those things. So we just went, man, let's write a song directly to that listener. And so for me, I was thinking of a certain person. For Anna, she was thinking, excuse me, of her brother. For Monty, he was thinking of, I think, his dad, you know, all these folks who have dealt with different things over the years. And we just said, let's write directly to that person and let's say exactly what they need to hear or what we need to hear in a moment. And I think it turned out pretty cool. And I'm really glad, Marley, that it, you know, resonates with you. That's really beautiful, because it resonates with me. the same, maybe just in a slightly different way, but man, it hits me. I need to hear, I'm sorry you were so misunderstood, because being misunderstood sucks. That's about the worst thing that I can imagine, especially for me. Like, I go on social media and I'll be exactly who I am, and everyone's like, "You're a disgusting heretic from hell. You're gonna burn." And I'm like, dang. Like, I was just being me, and I was completely and utterly misunderstood. So yeah, like, we've got to take those misunderstandings with those times that we're misunderstood, and we've got to take that before God and go, "Hey, this is how I feel." And I think in those moments he goes, "Hey, that's how I felt too." And I think we can find solace in that place.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's switch gears a little bit about your Instagram stories and reels. You make people laugh, Cory. You put smiles on people's faces. Well, at least you do mine. I know you get a lot of Pharisees that scream out to you, Karens and Kevins. But one of my favorites recently was your hit song on anxiety with some auto tune. I mean, dude, I was loving it. And then, so why do you think it's so important in these hard times and in this world with all the crazy news, crazy stuff happening every day, every single day, stuff going
Yeah.
on? And then, why do you think it's so important to make people smile?
Yeah, I think, comedy and levity are absolute necessities, like you said, in the life that we're living. There's so much craziness going on at any given time. And, the thing I love about comedy traditionally, you think about the jesters, right, in the king's houses, and they would come in and they'd do their little things. And the funny thing about jesters is they would be making fun of things that were going on in that particular time, right? So they had license to kind of poke at things that were taking place, maybe in the king's house or, in the community at that time, and they were allowed to do that. And when they did that, it actually sometimes caused change, because people would go like, "That's how we all feel. Like, you're poking fun at that, like, whatever it is, culture thing that's happening."
Right.
And that was their job. Um, so for me, sometimes I get myself in trouble because they don't think of that as my job. They think of me, again, as the worship guy. Why aren't you sitting in your closet with your Bible, writing another Reckless Love Part 2? And I'm like, well, there are other facets to life. There are other things that take place, but I still think it's so important to be able to lightly, hopefully not with offense or jadedness or bitterness, poke fun at things and go, "Hey guys, why are we believing what we're believing?" That was the use of satire, right? Like, to kind of just go, "What are we doing here? What are we thinking here, guys?" Like, let's kind of ruffle some feathers and make people question why we're
Right.
operating the way we're operating. So I think of a lot of it in that lens. Like, I'm actually trying to kind of shake things up a little bit. Like, that's very much my personality, 8 on the Enneagram. Like, I just want to reform. I just want to rip the stupid stuff down and hope that the good stuff remains. So I also think it's just important to not take ourselves so seriously, to
Right.
be able to laugh and to be able to make fun of the fact that my industry is so completely screwed in so many ways. But God's like, he's like, "Listen, I'm still going to use it. I've been using screwed up people since the beginning." And I think there's beauty in recognizing that and going, "Okay, I can work within those constructs and I can still have fun with it. And I can hopefully provoke other people to have fun with it and make them not take themselves so seriously, realize that they're not that important, they're not that smart, I'm not that great, just a regular dude." So to me, that's kind of some of the heart behind it. Like, let's have fun with this and realize we don't all have the answers.
Right. Yeah. One of my favorite platforms to follow is the Babylon Bee. I really love
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
their
its
stuff,
satire
man.
is super funny.
It's big time. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, you talked about Reckless Love a minute ago. You mentioned a movie that was maybe in the works of happening. Is that still in the
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, so we basically have had to move companies. We had what's the company? Oh, Paramount had it, licensed it, and they turned over leadership like 3 times in the time that we had the film, like, first right of refusal or whatever it's called with them. And basically the final regime that took over was like, yeah, we don't want to do faith films really anymore unless you can like attach Justin Bieber to it and get him to be the main actor. Like, we don't want to do it. I was like, you guys are okay, wild. Yeah, fantastic. So I kind of am the type of guy where I'm like, man, if it's not easily happening, I'm not going to push it because maybe it's just not supposed to happen. That's kind of my personality. So had a couple friends come to me and basically say, hey, we still really think this needs to happen. Can we connect you with some folks? And I was like, listen, sounds good. Like, whatever happens, happens. So I ended up connecting with a guy named Sean Wolfington out of Miami who he did like
Yeah,
the
I know who he
recent
is.
one. Yeah. What's the movie he just did? The
Oh
Captives,
Lord.
Freedom,
Yeah,
Slaves,
yeah. Yep. It's
Sound of
like a
Freedom,
sequel to
Sound of
that. Yeah.
Freedom.
Yep.
So he did that. He's done a number of faith films, kind of as an independent financier type dude that's connected to a lot of studios and stuff. So Anna, my wife and I, flew down there and hung with him and his wife, and they're amazing, like incredible people. And I really, really appreciated their heart and perspective. So he's like, man, I want to do something. Can we do this? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So it's still set to happen. I don't know exactly the timeline. When we talked, I kind of said, hey, it'd be cool to go. I think the song came out late 2017, maybe. I was like, dude, it'd be cool to have like a full on 10-year anniversary, like
Mm,
have it ready for 2027. Cause I don't know how long it takes to make movies and stuff. That's not really my
yeah.
world. But yes, it's in the works. I just sort of don't, I'm not trying to, chase it up at
Right.
any given second. I'm like, again, if it's God, it's God, and Sean wants to do it. So I imagine it's going to happen.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, hey, with first time guests, we like to do a little thing called favorite things. And so I'm just going to shoot you a word and you give me a favorite thing in that category. Sound good?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, man. What is your favorite food?
Dang. Bro, you know how hard that question is, bro? I love food, man. My God. I gotta go right now. It's birria tacos or burria. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Berea. Yeah.
fire, dude.
Yeah. Hey, the Christian answer would have been the word of God. That's my food.
Listen, man cannot live by bread alone.
That's right. Yeah, tacos are great. What about a favorite movie?
Dude, this is so hard, bro. I would have to say, I'd have to say A River Runs Through It.
Okay.
Um,
That's a good one.
that's probably top just since I've been young. And then a close second for me is like About Time. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
Okay.
it's fire. I won't give any more because it's supposed to be favorite things, not third favorite things.
Uh, what about a favorite show to watch or binge?
Probably Friday Night Lights,
Okay. Yeah, that's a
the
good
the
one.
old TV show from like maybe early 2000s or something.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite musical artist of all time?
Peter Gabriel,
Peter Gabriel. Okay. Now, what about a dream collab?
Chris Martin, Coldplay,
Okay. Favorite ice cream flavor?
anything chocolate peanut butter. So
Anything
let's just say
chocolate peanut
chocolate
butter?
peanut butter.
Do you listen to podcasts? You have a favorite podcast?
I don't, man. I don't listen to them. I've been on a fair number of them, but I never
Yeah.
find the time to like put headphones in and be like, all right, I'm locking in. So let's just go Joe Rogan because it's the only one I know.
There you go. All right. Well, you passed. No controversial answers. That's good.
My team will be excited about that.
There you go. So, Cory, what is next for you, and how can our viewers and listeners keep up with you?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing like a little mini tour this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when will people actually listen to this? Do you know? Like, is this like it comes out today or it comes out in a month or?
No, it'll be in the next few weeks.
Okay, yeah. Man, I'm just still releasing music. Probably a bunch of singles the rest of this year, and then I'm writing toward a live worship album. Finally getting back in that vein feels really good. Been inviting a bunch of people in to write on it, and it's been super sweet. So my guess is, maybe be recording that beginning of next year, something like that. Maybe late this year, and maybe it'll come out beginning of next year. But yeah, that's kind of the next move, next season. Is a full-on live worship album with a bunch of collabs and a bunch of co-writes and stuff. Until then, just be releasing some random country songs.
Yeah. Now, have you ever thought about doing any Christmas music?
No, I have not. No, I have not. What's funny to me about Christmas music? I get that people love it, and it's important to people. I love listening to it. My favorite is Justin Bieber's Christmas album is fire. That's my favorite personally. But for me, it just feels like a sellout when artists do it. It's like, well, got to get that Christmas bag. And I'm like, I'm not down with that, dude. Like, and I don't really like singing Christmas songs because growing up, you know, in the church or like leading at church, when it comes close to Christmas, it's like late November. They're all right, throw 2 or 3 Christmas songs in every set. And I'm like, bro, there's a billion lyrics and a billion chord changes in all these songs. I do not want to learn these songs. So I've always had a strong aversion to, playing them myself. I like listening to them.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, Cory, to wrap up, I'd like to see if you'd be willing to share something that God's been doing in your life recently that would help build our viewers and our listeners' faith.
Yeah. Gosh, so much, man. I mean, you touched on it with all the social media stuff, but for real, like, it can be really difficult to kind of hold that mirror in front of you so much and go, what do people say? What do people think? Are they liking? Are they viewing? Are they all these things, all these metrics that we start to kind of judge ourselves by? And are they getting it? Like, are they understanding it? Or are they not? And I've just had to kind of take that before God and go, I feel constantly misunderstood. And again, like I said earlier, he's like, yeah, so did I, so much so that they put me on a cross. So I think for me, it's been surrendering to the idea that I cannot change certain things, and that's okay. Because again, I'm a natural reformer at heart, but I can't change things. And I think for me, I try to force myself to surrender and just go, okay, give it up, let go, like chill out. And I've realized in order to truly surrender, oftentimes we have to grieve that situation. We have to mourn that situation. I have to sit and go, I can't change this part of the industry, this part of the industry, this part of the industry. So instead of just going, you know what, screw it, like forget it, or I'm just going to surrender to it, I have to go, I'm going to sit with God and I'm going to mourn the fact that it is the way that it is and that it shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. And I think once I do that, I can finally surrender and go, God, you can do whatever you want, whatever it looks like, so we find those things that we cannot change. And that doesn't necessarily have to be, for me, it's at the music industry, right? For you, podcast stuff, or maybe you have other business stuff, whatever. For regular Joe listeners who are working their job at, Trader Joe's or whatever, you find those things that you can't change and you go, God, I'm going to sit with you with this. I'm going to be like genuinely mournful and sad that I can't fix this. And then I'm going to surrender to it and I'm going to allow you to, take over in those places or heal those places or whatever. There's been a lot of that for me, and then just still resting on James 1:2, my brothers, when you fall into various trials, know that the testing of your faith produces patience. And I hate that that's kind of one of my life verses, but it is, because we all fall into various trials, like a lot. And when we do, remembering to count it all joy, remembering that we can find God in the midst of those things, and he's there and he's right with us. He's walking side by side. So a lot of surrender, man.